All right, if you run a B2B marketing agency and you are stuck all the time and you're wondering why you have never passed a certain revenue threshold, why you've never been able to hire people, I'm going to go into the three biggest problems that I see all the time with my clients. So the first biggest challenge I'll often see with like smaller, newer agencies, whether it's like a social media agency or a paid ad or some form of consulting or whatever it may be, conversion rate optimization, is that a lot of times their offer, like their introductory offer for new clients, sucks. It's not what it needs to be. It's very them driven, and it's very hard to come up almost with your own offer. Like it's very hard to advise on your own stuff for whatever reason. Maybe for the same reason like doctors make bad patients, right? Like you feel like you should already know this and you know too much about yourself, you're overanalyzing it. But trying to get an actual outsider perspective on the offer and what makes it compelling is kind of one of the first places I've seen things work. Like I saw an offer the other day where the guarantee was that they would do the work, which is fine, but like, it's not that compelling. That should be assumed. Like that should be, if you hire somebody to do a job and they're like, and we guarantee we'll do it. And I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. But like, isn't that, shouldn't you be doing it? Like, isn't that why you're hired? So like, that's not that compelling of an offer necessarily. I'm not saying you need to have some sort of crazy guarantee on everything you're doing. You can, but like, I just think your offer needs to be directly aligned to what their outcomes are. And in their case, their outcomes were, their clients' outcomes were not that the work wouldn't be done. It was like, what does the work result in? Right. So that's kind of the first thing is, analyzing that offer, making sure it's one that is actually compelling to somebody who's maybe never met you before. So that's first thing. Second thing is they often don't have a lot of lead generation. I think a lot of agencies end up getting like referrals, or they end up getting like people in their network who want to hire them. And then when those kind of like those carry them for a while, but when those start to dry up, then they start to panic for new lead gen opportunities, and then they start building things, right? The best day to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best day is today, kind of thing, right? A lot of times they wait until it's kind of too late to start, and a lot of these processes might take a minute to like pop off, right? It takes a minute to build a lead generation campaign or a business development campaign from scratch. And so doing it when like before you need it is typically the best thing. And I almost never see agencies do this. I see agencies wait until they're panicked and they're like back is against the wall. Okay. So building some sort of lead gen, at least one consistent place to get customers from is the second thing I would say. And then the third biggest mistake I've seen with a lot of B2B agencies is that they don't commit to their offer or what their services are, right? So this month they may be a podcast producer. Next month they may be a SEO writer. The following month they may be web development. And there's something to figuring out what you're doing, but there's also something to like, if you get something to work even a little bit, getting it to work a lot is not much harder. It's just not as rewarding, like emotionally at least, right? Because like there's something cool about building a new offer, putting it out there and having somebody buy it. Like it's super exciting and you feel very accomplished. But then when you get like a second, third, fourth, fifth person to buy it, you now have new problems in the business, and maybe you need to train a team. You need to build like standard operating procedures. You need to improve how long customers stick around, and all of that is less sexy than building something from scratch. So what I think a lot of us business owners do is we end up just burning it down and wanting to start over, when really now there's just new challenges that we have to overcome if we want to kind of get to a new level. That's not the sexy answer, right? It's more fun to just be like, oh, I'm just going to keep going until I, get the golden ticket, until I win the lotto, basically, in business. But you're actually a lot further along if you've sold something more than once to people and they're happy with what you sell. It's just a matter of, okay, if you've done it once, how do you multiply that activity to get to your next outcome? And really like staying focused on sales, honestly, so your business is in a decent range. I hate to give like a number range because I really think it depends on the type of business you are. It's different if you're selling like loaves of bread for $5 versus, marketing services for 5,000. Like those are two very different things, right? But like once your business is at a certain like revenue threshold, then you can start getting distracted with other potential secondary offers for your firm, in my experience and in my opinion. And again, I've made this mistake. I make this mistake, right? So maybe I'm extra hard on it because this is where I often falter. So yeah, so those are the three big things I think could be affecting your agency right now if you're not at the revenue or the time freedom that you want. So stay focused on those three things and you should be able to break through it. If that feels, if there's anything specific or you have a specific challenge that you're like, well, AJ, but what about this? Or you disagree with me, let me know. I would love to have a conversation with you in comments and offer the best support I possibly can. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.